Hey, Cole.
John,
I
been
am
so
so
long.
tired of you. I mean, if I have to go to the Faroe Islands again for 3 weeks, it was felt like a month and a
Hey,
half.
the only good news was that we weren't in the same car together.
No
My
kidding.
goodness.
We should, even when we do the Oregon coast together, we should just be in separate cars. Look at me.
Oh,
I'm coming out of look, watch. Does it look like I'm coming out of
oh, you're gone.
hi, Cole?
Climb out of it.
You know what it is? I just realized my camera's hitting I'm trying a new thing here, Cole, because I want to be real. That's close. But I'm using my iPhone camera and it was hitting the edge of the studio display and it made it look like I'm coming. It still does. I'm going to leave it
I
like,
still don't understand how it's doing that, but
well, it's because you're not that smart.
so what have you been doing the last few weeks, John?
Since I've been with you,
No, what have you been doing the last few weeks?
actually, you know what? Today was a big day. I released all of our 2024 workshop tour retreat offerings. And I'm so grateful. Just a quick thank you to all who are watching who may have signed up. I think there was 102 spots available for the different offerings that we're doing in 2024. Only like 16 seats are left. So very grateful for all those who support what we're doing. And of course, Cole, you and I are going to do the Faroe Islands again next year. There's just like 3 spots left for that. We're going to be doing um, Oregon coast together. We're doing 2 of those. People were very excited about being with you. I'm here to tell you. So you're going to have to bring your A game.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were like,
We
oh my
haven't done
gosh,
that forever. I mean,
I
that's been what,
know. I'm oh,
2016, 2017?
that was early on when we did that. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
like 2 spots left for one of those weeks. So I mean, it's just crazy. It's really nice and really fun to see such excitement about traveling and getting out and making photographs. So
And I
looking
guess the
forward to it.
big news, everybody's probably aware, Death Valley got inundated with, in
Wow.
one day, it got more than its annual normal rainfall, and it washed out virtually every road.
Yep.
And we're hoping, and I think it's reasonable to assume by January we'll
I
be
think so.
fully opened.
Yeah, I've because I have to get permits to go to Death Valley. I've been getting emails from them daily, actually, and it shows you the devastation, and it's some pretty bad road destruction. But they did say today that in a couple of weeks they expect to have the major thoroughfares open, but a lot of those back roads are going to take months, they said. But
Yeah.
like you said, we're many months away. We should be fine
Yeah, we've got what,
for
September, October, November. We got 4 full months for them to repair roads, so
yeah, it
we're
should be fine.
comfortable. And do we have any spots open left for Death Valley, or are those filled?
Nothing. No,
Okay.
just wait list spots. That seems to be
Yeah,
uber
and it's
popular.
worth people putting their name on a wait list because
Oh,
sometimes medical emergencies occur or travel plans change.
well, the age group that we're dealing with, Cole, for you and me, as well as our customers, it's absolutely common to have cancellations. So a wait list makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it feels good being on those trips because I'm the young guy of the group.
You are.
Hey,
You're,
we had some fun people in Faroe Islands. That was a very nice trip. It was unusual in that I think our high temperature was 54 and we
yes.
rarely saw the sun. It was a wet year.
It was, but we did a good job of dodging the rain. We really didn't deal with, but I think kind of one outing where
One
we were
day.
kind of fighting
Yeah.
some rain. But even when we went to Mykonos, I should say, where the Puffin Island is, it was raining when we left, but the entire time on that island was puffy white clouds, blue sky.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been better. So
Yeah.
it was a great trip.
Well, the nice thing about the Faroes is that if it's bad weather in one island, you go to another part of the island, the system, and you can find decent weather. And the
Yeah.
dark clouds did some really nice work there. I've kind of whittled through. I've been through my images 3 times now, and
Yep.
I'm down to 31. I'm
Wow.
hoping. Well, I'm hoping that'll stay. I can keep about 20 of those. But maybe we ought to just talk a little bit about what we did and show some of our images from that
Oh, that
trip.
would be fun. Yeah, I've actually got a little collection that I've been putting together. Do you have something you can show?
I do, yeah. I've got a few images that I've been working
Before
on.
you share your screen, though, I've got to hit a button here. Before you share your screen, let me ask you, what is that a good keeper? ratio for you? Is that a lot? Is if you walk out of that trip, and you were there for a little extra because you stayed after I went back. And so, let's say you were there for 4 weeks roughly, and you would get 20 really good images that you're willing to show some of those now, I assume. Is that good? Is that normal? Is that typical?
Well, I don't know, John. I say that if I came home with one image I really, really loved, I would be happy. So to come home with 20, and they're not all tens. I think we did
Yeah.
a
Yep.
podcast. Can they
Yep.
all be tens in a portfolio? And I look at some of the images and they're not a 10. There
Mhm.
are some better images, but they're an important part of the story.
Yep.
um, just like going to a play, there's a main character, but there are supporting actors that are required to tell the full story. So some of these will be going into my portfolio, the Faroe Islands portfolio, and they're an important part of the story. So
Another question. So some of those will go into your Faroe Islands portfolio. Do you have, because we've spoken about portfolios before, and more importantly, projects where you work in projects. So I'm
mhm.
curious, are they all only going to go into Faroe
No,
Islands?
no,
But so
no.
you might have a lone man, you might have a telephone wire or wire, that
Yeah,
poles or
yeah.
whatever that
Telephone
project,
line, power lines.
power lines. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
having some on windmills. I've been doing windmills lately.
Interesting.
Road to Nowhere, I've added one there. So
I think you've spoken about this before, but I like it when our pre-planned discussions, as this was sort of very loosely planned, takes a little detour because I think it's important. Um, so, so when you're doing these projects, or when you're in the Faroe Islands, are you thinking about those projects the whole time you're there? In the back of your mind, are you looking? No, okay.
now I'm looking for anything that catches my eye. And then I say, this would be perfect for my Powerline series. This would be perfect for my Road to Nowhere series. Or sometimes they're standalone images. I'll have one that I'll share today that's a standalone image. It'll never be a project, but it's just an image I like.
Have you had, and I know the answer to this one, and I'm pretty sure you'll show an image to uh, to validate my thought here. Is it possible that, like in this Faroes trip, that you had a moment where you saw something, you made that standalone image, but then you went, "Hey, that's a new project."
I didn't have it happen this time, but I've had that happen a lot of times
Okay, I
because,
thought you did. I thought the water shots where you had the
oh,
cloud shadows, I thought maybe that
yeah,
might become a project.
I've thought about that.
Okay.
When I'm shooting into the light was reflecting off the water.
Yeah.
There were these patterns on the water that I
Awesome.
accentuated with a long exposure. And I did think at that time that
Okay.
that might be a project, and it might be.
Okay. Well, go ahead and share your screen, Cole, and let's take
Okay.
a look at some of the things from the trip. I think our viewers might be interested, and then I'll share some too. I should probably go first because
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
no, I'm not going to, because yours is always better. Nobody will ever remember I even showed a picture.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Is
Let
it
me
okay?
here and let me share the screen. Let's see. How do I do the Alt S?
Sometime today would be good. Like
Okay.
let,
Okay. Tell me if you can see it.
yeah, good. All right, there my 7 images. See, I told you. Why do I put up with this? I mean, now I don't have time to come up with my own title for
Yeah, you can work in the background as you're acting like you're
it.
interested in what I'm showing.
All right, go ahead. I'll shut up for like
Okay.
two
And
seconds.
these aren't finished, and I don't know truthfully if all 7 of these will make it.
Okay.
Let me figure out how.
I'm excited to see because I haven't seen any of
Okay,
yours.
there's one. Um, this is that rock that we stopped at
Yep.
on that little town before the airport.
Vagar. Yep.
Yeah, Vagar, and and this is that one where we sat there and we were shooting the Jesus on a stick, and we
Uh-huh.
turned behind us, and there was that fog coming
That's
between the
right.
hill and the mountain.
Beautiful job. I
So
love
there's that
that.
one. This is one
Wow.
from the high spot, looking over at you guys. This, if you could see it larger, those are all of you guys with
Nice.
tripods out photographing.
Cool. That's a new, I love the foreground on that.
This is when I went back after you had left, and I
Ah,
went back with my wife and mother-in-law to the sands, the beach. I
yeah,
forget the
Tor something begins with a T.
Torjinovic, or
Tor
maybe
Tojornik, or
we can't
I,
say any of the
we can't
words.
say any of the towns, so
Yeah.
don't bank on any of
Yeah.
this being accurate.
And then this was a delightful little shot that I got. I call it John and the Witch's Finger, because of course that is John and that is the witch's finger.
Yep.
But we just had a really spectacular stroke of luck. We got up there when the fog cleared and the sun broke through and made all those patterns on the water.
Yep.
It was just a fun time.
That was
And
awesome.
then here's one
Ah,
to add to my Road to Nowhere series.
nice.
And then I think I got one more, just for my growing collection of windmills.
Nice.
So there's my 7. So you go ahead now and
All right.
share some of your inferior images with me.
People are probably wondering why on earth I even do this. I wonder, I wonder if I can go, can I view, can I do it as a slideshow? I wonder.
I would think so.
Let's see here. Oh, you know what I can do is I can go like this. There we go. How's that look? All right.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
So here,
Yeah.
so here's the scene, Jesus on a stick there. I think these are probably a little too big there. Let
We
me
should
get,
probably explain that story at some point for people who might wonder or be offended at our title.
that's true. That's true. We should at some point, but for now we'll leave it as be. But we were having, it was mesmerizing to watch that fog that day with the group. And so we were doing some long exposures, but then I decided to kind of zoom in a little bit. These, you know what, I think they're looking, I'm going to make them that size only because these are JPEGs that I've created for output to like Instagram, and they were looking a little pixelated. So even though they're small, they're going to look better. Probably one of my favorites from the trip.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw this on your camera, I about died.
Yeah.
Talk about jealousy.
Yeah.
Talk
Well, so,
about jealousy.
wait. What are you saying? Are you saying that you actually think I have a good photograph?
You actually might have accidentally stumbled onto something. Yeah, that is a keeper for the rest of your life, keeper. That is just,
Yeah, I really like that. And I love this too. You inspired me on this one. I did see an image of yours where you were below a church. I don't know if it was this one or not.
same one, I think.
I think it might be, yeah. And so infrared here though, to make
Yeah.
those grasses look pretty white. And we should probably talk about infrared at some point in one of our shows. I was trying not to make it look real infrared-y, right? The
I
reality.
think you succeeded. Some of the other people's images I've seen, it look like snow. This looks like dry grass, which contrasts nicely against that rock wall. So I think it does not scream IR, which of course I'm a fan of when it doesn't scream IR.
Right. Me too. Me too. Generally, although I do have some that do. And man, I just love a peek of my buddy Dan Sniffen used to always talk about peekaboo barns when we would photograph in the Palouse, or in this case, I call it my peekaboo church.
Yep, a lovely, lovely image. You've
And
gotten
then,
two.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You've gotten 2 good ones from the trip.
Okay, I love this. That's the witch's finger where I was over on the left side there, almost falling off the cliff. And these were the patterns in the water that I thought you might be speaking about as a potential project. I loved this scene that was going on with the Virga and the rain, and then we were heading, and this is a great example in my mind of what you and I like to talk about in our show. And that is, you don't go out with any preconceived ideas. You just go out. And then if something happens, you stop. And we were on our way from down below. We had just wound up that road. And as we came up the road, we could see this magic happening. And we decided to stop along the side of a road way high up above this little village down below there. And man, did we get treated to a light show. It was a blast.
And there's another lesson here. That didn't last long.
Oh.
And for those who are getting their cameras neatly packaged out of their plastic bags and cleaning their lenses and carefully getting their filters out, I mean, this scene was gone in a minute.
Yep.
You've got to be prepared to shoot quickly, because just a few minutes later, that was gone.
It was gone. And not this was literally the first shot I made.
Yeah.
And it's the only one I care about. And then I just wanted to illustrate one of your points before that. You have been known to say everything looks good in black and white, even rainbows and birds. So there you go. They look good in black and white too, although I've had a couple of pushbacks on that call. A couple of people said puffins are way too colorful to make in black and white, to which I pushed back and said the only thing that's colorful on those birds is their beak. They are a black and white bird. Give me a break.
Well, I think about icebergs, right? Or the aurora borealis. Hey, speaking of the aurora borealis, John, have you gotten your rejection letter from Brooks yet?
No, I haven't yet.
Come on, Brooks.
Yeah, come on, Brooks. Send me my rejection. I've been bracing for my rejection letter. So that's my group.
There's the classic shot for the Faroe.
I figured I put the classic in because that way people would know we were actually in the Faroe Islands.
You know, the Faroes are such a great place. There's so much to do, and we stayed a little longer, I think, than normal. We were there, what, 10 days?
Yeah, we do 10 days of shooting when we do our trip, 12 days. So an arrival day, departure day, 10 days. Everybody else does a total trip of maybe 7 days, 8 days max.
Yeah. Well, it was a nice trip. We had some very, very nice people on the trip, which always makes it extra fun. And we're going to be meeting with them, I think, soon to look at everyone's images.
Because we always do a follow-up Zoom now. I like to do that with all of my workshops and tours and retreats. About a month, 6 weeks later, we get together, share images, share camaraderie, stories, and stay in touch. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I hope they all show up, because whoever doesn't show up, of course, we like to talk about them and make fun.
Oh, we will.
Yeah. So
I kind of hope one or two don't show up just so we can talk about them.
Barry, don't let Barry.
Barry, don't you dare.
So we can talk about Barry. He's an easy target.
Hey, you know what? I have an idea for our next show. So let's wrap this one up. It's gone pretty long, but welcome back. It's always great to be with you, Cole. Thank you for coming along and being a co-leader on these things. It makes it a lot more fun.
I hope I'm useful. Thank you.
Oh, you're not that useful, but it's fun to have you along because you're funny. No, you're very useful. All right, I'm going to stop this recording. We'll do the next show, and you know what we're going to talk? We're going to talk about rules a little bit. So see you next time.